Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is right here, everyone. Thank you for joining me, everyone out there in the SP Nation on this fine Sunday afternoon. Lil Captain David Miscavige done it again. Lil Captain David Miscavige done messed up again. You know, I just want to thank Little Captain David Miscavige for being the #1 sponsor of SP TV. If it were not for your steadfast dedication to being such a horrible person, running such an awful human trafficking cult called Scientology, if it were not for your dedication to harassing, stalking, intimidating, running fair game operations, I would not have nearly as much to talk about in my videos. And so truly, I thank you. I thank you dearly. And I ask, please keep it up. Keep it up right up until the day when Leah Remini gets your ass in front of a jury and you are found liable for billions of dollars of damages. But until then, by all means, keep it up, little Captain Dave. I have for you a voicemail that was left. I was going to say yesterday, but it might have been the day before on Friday, by a private investigator, obviously working for Scientology. You guys will see. I'll play this for you in a second here. A private investigator claiming, oh, is my mic not plugged in? Or is someone messing with me in the chat? Oh my God.
I can't not stand it when my mic isn't plugged in. I'm sorry, guys. The wrong mic was plugged in. Oh boy. Man, I had that fantastic intro, all with crappy audio. Oh man, now I'm filled with such deep regret. Oh my God. I was so pleased with my little introduction there, you guys. I was just patting myself on the back in my mind, only to find out the wrong microphone was plugged in once again. Damn it. All right. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm going to play for you a voicemail left by a private investigator, very obviously working for Scientology, who's claiming to have been hired by some state agency. Which state? We'll never know. He doesn't specify. Of course, if he actually had been hired by a state, never mind the fact states don't hire PIs to investigate nonprofits. If he had actually been hired by a state or a state agency, he would most certainly specify which one. Investigating the unorthodox fundraising practices and very suspicious activities in general of the Aftermath Foundation. Let me play this for you guys. You guys are going to love this.
Hi, this message is for Miss Rachel Hastings. I am a private investigator looking into the Aftermath Foundation, specifically their irregular fundraising methods and the handlings of the funds that they receive. The foundation is under investigation by a state agency, and I saw your name on a recent documentary the foundation is putting together as a fundraising tool. I was hoping to get some information regarding your interaction with them on this documentary. The state agency conducting the investigation is also looking for witnesses. So if you are not willing to speak, possibly you know someone who might be able to. Once again, I'm a private investigator. My name is Gabriel Sanchez, and I can be reached at 818-531-7927. Today is Friday, September the 1st of 2023, and it's approximately 12:30 in the afternoon. Thank you for your time.
Well, Gabriel, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people willing to call you and discuss the operations and activities and fundraising practices of the Aftermath Foundation. I do appreciate. Oh, Goldie's saying we've heard this name before. Goldie, we have. My memory does not retain names very well. It probably has something to do with my having been raised in a cult. I don't know. That's what I choose to blame it on. Goldie, or anyone at all. Goldie or anyone at all. If this is the same PI who was calling is this the same PI that was calling my neighbors the last time I was in Los Angeles? If anyone can connect those dots for me, you can email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Okay. So some things here. So this is what's called a noisy investigation, right? This is what Scientology calls a noisy investigation. They want you to know they're not really looking for information. They're not really investigating, because if they were, they wouldn't call Rachel. They know Rachel is someone who has escaped from Scientology. She's someone who the foundation has helped in the past. She's someone who helped the foundation create the documentary that we published a few weeks ago on Sergio Belinsky. Speaking of which, since I choose to take advantage of any opportunity Scientology gives me to share information they don't want shared, let me just remind everybody. This here is just a still from the first Aftermath Foundation documentary about Sergio Belinsky. I've put a link to this video in the description down below. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is because we published this documentary as a fundraiser. In other words, if you're watching this video on YouTube, there's a button right there to donate directly to the Aftermath Foundation. YouTube does not take any % of the profits on donations to nonprofits. You can see right here, I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see this on the screen. This video alone has raised over $26,000 for the Aftermath Foundation. That does not even include people who couldn't donate on YouTube due to some, geographical restrictions, and people who sent donations directly to the Aftermath Foundation, which you can do so on the Aftermath Foundation website, which I've also linked to in the description down below. I can tell you we received, I believe, close to $10,000 additionally direct to the foundation that didn't go through YouTube. So this documentary that they're investigating raised close to $40,000 for the Aftermath Foundation, which is absolutely incredible. Okay, so I was saying this is what they call a noisy investigation. If they were really looking for wrongdoing, they wouldn't be calling people who are known to be friends and allies and associates of the foundation. All right, they'd be trying to call people who they thought were disgruntled with the Aftermath Foundation. Now, let me see. I do have some notes because there was a whole bunch of things I didn't want to forget to mention. Oh yeah, irregular fundraising practices. This is an interesting accusation. The foundation has, you go to the website and you click donate. How irregular does it get? You go to the Aftermath Foundation website, you click the donate link, the donate page. It brings you to the page where you can click the donate link and you donate. There's also an address. There's an address. By the way, the foundation is legally registered in Texas. I'm going to forget the name of the city. Because our attorney who's on our board is located in Texas. And then our mailing address is a Colorado address because that's where Mark and Claire Headley are located. And they have, a space that's appropriate to mail things to. And so, So if you go to the donation page, there's also an address. Someone who wants to mail a check, there's a physical mailing address where you can mail a check. So that's two different ways to donate. So clicking a button on a website and mailing something to an address. And then thanks to YouTube, thanks to the power of YouTube, YouTube makes it even easier to raise funds online by creating a video, and you can create a fundraiser and you can link an unlimited amount of videos to that fundraiser actually. And that money goes, the way YouTube does payouts is once a month. Like, so for any YouTube channel, like if you're a YouTube channel and you have ads and you make ad revenue, YouTube pays you once a month. They send you your payment once a month. The same is true for fundraisers. So for this, the fundraiser I just showed you on the Serge Obelinsky documentary, once a month, any additional funds that go to this thing, YouTube sends an actual check to the mailing address of the Aftermath Foundation. Does that sound terribly unusual? It doesn't get much more straightforward than that. Now, for nonprofits who raise funds online, they're out of the 50 states in the US, there's about 35 states or so that require nonprofits to be registered in that state. If you raise funds online, even if you have no business in that state, if you raise funds online, it's considered you're raising funds in all states. And so there's about 35 states that do require state registrations, and the majority of those states only require registrations if you raise over a certain amount of money in a certain amount of period. Needless to say, especially since we're under the microscope from Scientology, we're registered in all states that require it. But nonetheless, Scientology has hired someone to full-time, because by the way, these registrations have to be redone every year. It's pretty time consuming. They've hired someone to full-time go through the Aftermath Foundation's registrations in every single state and examine every single page of every filing, both the filing of the organization and also the updated financial filings every year, and look for absolutely anything they can complain to the state about. Oh, here's the registration, and here's all the bylaws, and paragraph 8 on page 3 is blurred and not legible. And then we'll get a request from the state almost apologizing. We've received a complaint. Would you mind sending us a fresh copy of this thing? I mean, it is incredible how Scientology will spend its tax-exempt dollars paying for just absolute busy work to harass the foundation with no actual end game other than to waste as much time as possible, right? Like even the things they're complaining about, they're just administrative things. Oh, there's 2 signatures, but only there's no date next to the second signature. There's only 1 date for 2 signatures, like that kind of stuff. And so anyway, there's also a website where you can, it's sort of a federal level website, meaning it's a nationwide website called guidestar.org, where anybody can look up any nonprofit organization and see the status of that organization and see the latest filings of that organization. So we're diligent to stay in compliance with all of these guidelines, if for no reason other than we know Scientology is looking for anything and everything that they can. And it's amazing. It's amazing. These guys, I say it so many times, they just can't help themselves. What do they really think they're going to accomplish? I don't actually believe they really think they're going to accomplish anything, but it's just that the people who answer to David Miscavige have to deal with this little tyrant. And when he comes and says, what the hell are you MFers doing about those MFers over there? They can't say, they have to have something to say. They have to have something to say. So they will send their little agents out to make these phone calls and file these complaints with these, the various state agencies that deal with nonprofit registrations. I'll tell you, in one of these states, we got a call from someone. We got a call and an email from someone who deals with the registration of nonprofits. And they go, we got a phone call today from someone wanting to file a complaint about your nonprofit. And I think it was Claire who took this phone call. And she's like, yeah, we're sorry. You know, we deal with helping people who leave Scientology. And, you know, this is just sort of par for the course. And they're like, no, you should know, in our entire history, we've never received a phone call. In our entire history, we've never received a phone call from someone looking to complain about a nonprofit. Like, this is unprecedented. And if I recall correctly, in this particular state, it was one that normally requires registration, but only if your income is exceeding a certain limit. And in this state, we were not required to file something at that time. And this person said, you know what? You guys are fine. There's no action to be taken here. Send us your stuff anyway. We'll get this fast tracked for you so that they don't have anything to complain about in the future. Like, even the state agencies are so put off and turned off by Scientology's over the top aggressive harassment campaign. I mean, Scientology is the source of its own bad PR. It's not even all of us former Scientologists talking about them that is the source of their bad PR. I think us talking about them just helps get the word out, you know, farther. Scientology just shoots themselves in the foot over and over and over again. It truly is incredible. And it is a function of this little psychopath that they've got running the entire operation. Let's see, what else did I want to say on this? Covered that. Yeah, guys, again, I just want to thank you, Dave, from the bottom of my heart for giving me so much material. I would have thought for sure doing 2, 3, 4 videos a day that it would very quickly run out of things to talk about. People keep telling me, I can't believe you have so many videos. Yeah, my list of things to talk about just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. And every time something like this pops up, it shoots right to the top of my list. So my list just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I mean, I know it feels good to harass your enemies and all that kind of stuff, but you really are going to pay for it dearly one of these days. And I've got a really strong feeling that day is going to be related to Leah Remini's fair game lawsuit. So, by the way, this is a request I'm going to make to all of you out there. I'm probably going to make this over and over and over again over the next many months, every now and then. I am looking to collect up stories of former Scientologists of any shape or form, or, public, staff, Sea Org, int, doesn't matter, of fair game that you've experienced at the hands of Scientology. And I want to collect as many anecdotes as possible. Email is probably the preferred form. These are not these are not for me to make public. Meaning that's not the primary objective here. I just want to collect as many stories from as many people, from as many eras, from as many countries as possible. And if you want to send me your story, and it doesn't have to be like a 5,000 word thing. It could be bullet points. It could be one paragraph. It doesn't matter, guys. Anything and everything. I'm just trying to get as many data points as possible. If your particular story is one you're okay with me talking about, feel free to mention that. If your story is one that you'd like to come on the channel and talk with me about, please mention that. But even if you want to remain anonymous, I mean, truly, even if you want to remain anonymous, even if you don't want me to know who you are, but you want me to know what's been done to you in a short format, just message me, guys. growingupinscientology@gmail.com. This channel and many other channels sort of serves as kind of a repository of fair game stories, but I want to have a nice little collection that I can refer to as needed. And I'll figure out whether I'll sort it by time or sort it by region, or I'll figure out. I'll play with it in a few different ways, but it's something I want to build over time. So if you're a former Scientologist of any shape or size or variety, and you have experienced fair game practices by Scientology, shoot me a message. I'd really appreciate it. Guys, I have so many things I want to talk about and not enough hours in the day to do it. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know when I go live, hit that notification bell. Sometimes YouTube actually sends out those notifications. But stay tuned, guys. So much more to come. Let me see. I got a few super chats here. Does the Church of Scientology YouTube page have a donation link? No, but wouldn't it be funny if they did? Wouldn't it be funny if Miscavige was like, oh my God, the Aftermath Foundation's been so successful raising money on YouTube. We should put a donation link on our YouTube page. If he was smart, he would, but who knows? Thank you for that, Jana. What is this? Chris Curtin. I'm back. DTCLWT. I think that's downtown Clearwater, but I don't know what WT means. Was quiet. DTC. What does the WT mean, Chris? Chris, we should get together. I think you're back in town. I think you're like permanently back in town, if I recall correctly. Shoot me a message. Let's meet up sometime soon. And what is this one? LOPNC1. What is the difference between staff and Sea Org, please? Okay, so Scientology staff members sign 2.5-year contracts or 5-year contracts. They don't sign the billion-year contracts. They do not live in Scientology provided housing. They do not eat Scientology provided meals. A Scientology staff member lives in the regular world, has to deal with regular world shit like bills and rent and mortgage payments and girlfriend and all this kind of stuff. In many ways, being a staff member in many ways is harder than being a Sea Org member. As far as like the day-to-day stress and experience. The Sea Org guys are the ones who signed the bill. Oh yeah. So if you're a staff member and you finish your 2.5-year contract or your 5-year contract, you don't owe Scientology any money when you stop working for them. The Sea Org is the billion-year contract. No matter how long you work for them, you owe them money when you leave because they say you broke your contract. Anyway, that's my description of the difference for right now. Thank you for that question. Uber Nubage, David Miscavige is a little witty, itty bitty mini Mussolini. Love it. Love it. Just correct, aka TCP, UDP. The times of Scientology ends very, very soon. The time David Miscavige spends in freedom ends too. He becomes a cellmate of Danny Masterson. I truly wish that were true. I'm not as optimistic as you are, though. Remember, even Leah Remini's lawsuit is a civil action. Even if he's found liable for billions of dollars of damages, he ain't going to jail. And there is the obstruction of justice grand jury investigation going on that Miscavige is, I believe, implicated in. But I'm told that even cases, even actions like that usually end up in a fine. I don't personally believe Miscavige is going to go to jail or prison, but I'm open to other views on that subject. Thank you so much. JW, did your blue hat come in? Yes, it did. I haven't opened it up yet because I'm waiting for all my kids to be in the same place at the same time. So I want to open it up in front of them because I think they're going to get a real big kick out of it. But yes, it did arrive, and you will be seeing it in a video in the very near future. All right, guys, thank you for hanging in there with me this afternoon. Much more to come. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,